Hello, I'm Miss Kristen at the Oosterhout Free Library. Do you know what an ice cream scoop, a pencil sharpener, and a traffic light have in common? Well, they're just a few of the everyday items that were invented or improved upon by African American inventors. And today I'm going to share a book with you called Saving the Day, Garrett Morgan's life-changing invention of the traffic signal. Garrett Morgan lived in a busy city in the 1920s. That's almost 100 years ago. And at that time, busy streets were filled with cars, trolleys, which are like a train, horses, and people. If you want to take a look for yourself, you could check out this short clip of the 1920s streets on YouTube. I'll include a link in the description box below. Now, back then, traffic cops used to have to stand in the middle of the street with signs that said stop and go. It was quite a mess and not very safe. Garrett Morgan decided to do something to change that and created a new electric traffic signal in 1923. Now, after the story, you can make your own traffic signal that actually changes, and you can go on a scavenger hunt for everyday items that were improved upon or invented by Black American inventors. So let's begin. Saving the Day, Garrett Morgan's life-changing invention of the traffic signal. Written by Karen Parsons, illustrated by R. Gregory Christie, published by Little Brown and Company. Morning dawned and the sun's golden rays signaled to Garrett Morgan that it was a new day. With his head in the clouds, always full of a dream, he was no help to others, or so it seemed. His brothers and sisters worked the house and the field, but Garrett's talents had yet to be revealed. He fell off all ladders, couldn't hammer a nail, was too weak to lift things, not even a pail. They'd all say, "Run along, go be by yourself." And though he liked dreaming, he wanted to help. He'd spend time alone, lone walks he would take, his mind imagining new creations to make. In the middle of the road, a wheel lay on the ground. "I know I can use that," so Garrett bent down. But sometimes his dreaming got him into trouble. He wouldn't watch where he was going, his mind in a bubble. See, along came a car, from the side a red truck, and though they missed Garrett, their nerves had been struck. Both slammed on their brakes, dodged the boy by a hair, but the near collision gave everyone a scare. Back at home, his mom said, "You, wait here for your dad." He just knew he was in trouble, that his parents were mad. His father walked in, looked at Garrett a beat, then called him over. "Come here, son, have a seat." You have a great mind, imaginative, keen, ready to invent from what has not yet been seen. Yes, you have a great mind, but could do even more. A tutor in the city could help your dreams soar. This decision was hard. We don't want you away, but it's for your own good. You'll understand one day. Then Garrett's mother pulled him close and she said, "But always remember this, son, keep this in your head. While Ruth's good at fishing and Will likes to bake, Lucille loves the stars and the patterns they make. Frank's good with tools and can fix anything, and Minnie's at her best when she can sing. You two, son, have something that's all yours alone, something to contribute that's just not yet known. All are given a gift, something you cannot learn. It's what you do with that gift. That's your gift in return." The city was loud, people everywhere, and cars and horses and bicycles were there. All on the same roads, all at the same time. Horns honking, cars crashing, no reason or rhyme. Garrett studied hard, and when his lessons were done, he found a job doing something he found fun. Fixing sewing machines with their rotors and springs and gears and buttons made him think of many things, like a new kind of stitch on the sewing machine, one that made zigzags and kept edges clean. His mind churned and churned with new ideas to invent. Some drew attention, some helped pay the rent. But Garrett didn't care about fame or about wealth. What he wanted most was to show he could help. The day's early dawn signaled Garrett to wake. He decided to walk a scenic route he would take. The grass, sparkling green, had just been cut low. Garrett longed to run through it. He decided to go. But just as he started, a white car whizzed past, heading for the crosswalk and going quite fast. Then he heard tires screech and someone yelled, "Stop!" A horse and carriage were approaching. He could hear the hooves clop. But the horse kept on going, didn't even slow down. Garrett ran fast to warn them, but soon heard the sound. First a crash and a boom, and the horse whinnied high. When Garrett finally got there, he tried not to cry. Though everyone was okay and the horse would be all right, he'd seen too many wrecks. It was a terrible sight. That day, as he worked on a sewing machine, his mind drifted back to the collision he'd seen. There has to be some way to let drivers know that someone else is approaching, when to stop and to go. And a signal before stopping, so first they could slow down. But they'd have to see it. It couldn't only be sound. But as Garrett wandered home, ideas in his head flowing, he forgot to pay attention to just where he was going. He stepped off of a curb. The bike signaled, no doubt. He saw a bright light, and then he went out. His mind was filled with colorful light. On and then off, what a beautiful sight. The green grass of a field, illuminated by sun, shone bright and invited Garrett to run. Golden light through the window eased in the morning. A new day was beginning. It was a subtle warning. The red glow of the coals, far too hot to touch, told Garrett to stop. One more move was too much. His mind was racing. Ideas twisted and nodded. Then he suddenly jumped up and exclaimed, "I've got it!" A traffic signal. That's what he'd create, so all could travel safely. Yes, it'd be great. The red, yellow, and green would come along later, but it was Garrett's foundation that made us all safer. Garrett had a gift, yes, that is a fact, but what meant the most was that he gave back. Here is the official patent for Morgan's traffic signal invention. And here's a picture of Garrett Morgan in 1950. Inventors like Garrett Morgan see a problem and figure out a way to solve the problem by creating something new. Garrett Morgan saw that terrible accident and he created the traffic signal that could help make traffic more safe. And one way for you to think like an inventor is to make something yourself. So let's make a quick traffic signal that actually changes colors. So to do that, you're going to go ahead and need a paper, a white or construction, a paper towel tube, markers or crayons, tape, and a pencil. Now you might want to cut your roll in half or to the size that you wish. And then once you've done that, you're going to trim the paper to the size of the roll so that it wraps just around just about once, just like that. Then once you've done that, you can fold the paper in half like this. And then you can trace half circles on the fold and then cut them out. Once you've done that, you can tape it back to your tube here and with some tape along the back. And then you're going to mark with your pencil where the circles that you have cut out are. So you're going to go ahead and mark the top and the bottom and the left and the right so that you know where to color it in. And then you're going to turn it just a little bit and mark the top and the bottom, left and right, and then repeat it again. And here's a hint too. If you want to twist your tube, put your fingers right in the middle there. And then do it one more time. And then once you've done that, you take this off, go ahead and color it in red, yellow, and green. Stick it into your tube and then watch your traffic light change colors. Pretty cool. Now that's just one way to design a traffic signal using those materials. Maybe you will think of another way yourself. Try it out for yourself. Now, Garrett Morgan was just one of many African Americans who were inventing things all those years ago. Many of those items you can still find in your house today. Let's take a closer look and go on a scavenger hunt to see if you can find them in your house. Let's get started. Can you find these items in your house? Ice cream scooper, pencil sharpener, hairbrush, pen, keychain, or a doorknob? Let's go on a scavenger hunt and learn more about the inventors and their inventions. Ice cream scoop was invented in 1897 by Alfred Krall. Alfred Krall was from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and was the first African American to get a patent independently for his ice cream scoop that could be operated easily with just one hand. Pencil sharpener. In 1894, John Lee Love improved the pencil sharpener by making it portable and using a single blade. Some even caught the pencil shavings. The sharpener has been in continuous use since it was first made. You probably have one in your house somewhere. Hairbrush. In 1898, Lyda Newman designed a brush that was easy to clean, strong, easy to make, and provided ventilation during brushing by having recessed air chambers. Ink pen. In 1890, William Purvis from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, made several improvements to the fountain pen in order to make it more portable. His ink cartridge design allowed people to carry a pen without a separate ink bottle, much like the pens that we use today. Purvis also invented other inventions, like a hand stamp and a paper bag making machine. In 1894, Frederick Ledin was one of the famous Jubilee singers that toured the world, and he needed something to keep all of his keys together. So he created and made a patent for a key fastener, or as we now call them, a keychain. Doorknob. In 1878, Osborne Dorsey invented an internal door lock. Before Dorsey's invention, people closed and secured doors in a variety of ways. Many people used some type of latch to keep doors closed. Others used leather straps as handles. Even after the doorknob was invented, it took years for people to start using them on the doors in their homes. It's pretty cool to think that these items have been in use for over 100 years. What of these items can you find in your house? Go on a scavenger hunt and find out. I'll also include a link of all the items described in the description box below. Did you find them all? Maybe you made it a contest to see who in your house can find them first. Well, if you did, I hope you had fun. If you'd like to learn more, please check out these books that are available at the library to discover more about inventors like Lewis Latimer, Sarah Good, and more. Keep exploring, and we'll see you next time. Bye.